So we're going to use the information right here in this table, and we're going to complete the 5-number summary right here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the data from Ashland, and I'm going to write it in order from least to greatest. And I can see from my information right here that my minimum is 56, my maximum is 82, and now I'm going to work on getting my median. So I cross off one from the low end and one from the high end until I reach the middle. And I can see right here that I have 2 in the middle, so I need to take their average. So I'm going to add 61 and 65 together and divide by 2. And the number in the middle is 63. So my median is 63. So I'm going to split my data right here. And I'm going to look now for my Q1. I want to take from the minimum up to the median. I don't want to include that median though. And once again, I'm going to start crossing off one from the low end, one from the high end until I reach the 2 numbers that are in the middle. And I know that right in between 58 and 60 is the number 59. So then I'm going to look at the numbers on the high end here, and I'm going to cross off a low one and a high one until I reach these 2 numbers in the middle. And that's going to be my Q3. I need to add 70 and 73 together and divide it by 2. And that gives me 71.5. The other thing that the table asked for was the IQR here. So remember, the IQR means that we take Q3 and we subtract Q1. So the IQR should be 12.5. I'm going to repeat that process with the Balsano averages. So once again, I'm going to write the numbers in order from least to greatest. And I can see that my minimum is 48. My maximum is 88. And then I'm going to cross off one low one and one high one until I reach these 2 numbers right here in the middle. And I'm going to average them together. So that gives me 128 divided by 2. Gives me 64. So I know that my data is split right here in the middle, and so I have a median of 64. So I'm going to look at these numbers down here once again, and I'm going to find their median. So I get rid of a low one and a high one until I come to these 2 numbers right here, and I know that right in the middle of 55 and 59 is 57, so my Q1 is 57. And then I'm going to look at the numbers above the median, and I'm going to cross off a low one and a high one until I reach these 2 numbers right here. And when I take their average, I add them together and divide by 2, I get a Q3 of 73.5. And the last part that the table wanted us to find was the IQR. So I'm going to subtract Q3 and Q1. And I get an IQR of 16.5. So number 13 wants you to construct a box and whisker plot. So I'm going to take my information for Balsano, I'll do them first. So you plot your minimum, you plot your maximum, you plot your median, and the median for Balsano was 63. Your Q1 was 59. Your Q3 was 71.5. Connect those to make your box and your whiskers. And I'm going to label that one with a B so that we know that, oh, no, that one's Ashlyn, excuse me. Okay, now we're going to do Balsano. Minimum was 48. Maximum was 88. Median was 64. Q1 was 57. Q3 was 73.5. So we're going to connect those to make the box and the whiskers. And I'll label this one with a B for Balsano. So number 13 says, in other words, how would you describe the variability of Ashlyn compared to the variability of Balsano? Well, when we're talking about variability, we're talking about the IQR. So we're talking about the box. So you're going to want to look at the box. So we can see right here that Balsano, its IQR was 16.5. And Ashlyn's IQR was 12.5. So Balsano has greater variability. And the last one we're going to look at is number 14. How much more time and hours did Alan spend practicing the drums than playing video games? You have a couple different options here. One of those options is to create two different proportions. So practicing the drums, I can see is 5%. Percent goes over 100. And I know right here that it's out of 24 hours, so X over 24. And then video games is 3%, percent over 100. And what would that be out of 24 hours? So we're going to cross multiply here. 24 times 5. And we'll divide that by 100. We get 1.2 for practicing the drums. For video games, we'll cross multiply one more time and divide by 100. And we see that playing video games is 0.72, and it says how much more time, so we actually want to subtract those two numbers. So I'm going to line up my decimal points. I need a placeholder here. I can't